Okay, hello again guys, and welcome back to the Intermatic timer saga. On the last part, we just got the thing open, and now we're gonna get into it here. So, I've done lots of considering, and lots of thinking, and it's basically the same thing, isn't it? We've done, I was kind of weighing my options here in this situation, and we've also got some other interesting little things to point out here as well. But it all sort of boils down to this. I need to get that core open, or that motor open, so I can see that gear. Because really, just from, just from kind of going off my memory here and just saying, oh yeah, it would stop periodically or whatever, that's not really gonna, I don't know, I need something more kind of conclusive than that. I don't know if this thing is gummed up, or if that infamous issue, which happens to all Intermatic timers, almost all of them, except for the earliest ones, which have a brass gear. Anyway, is this going to be the infamous Intermatic issue, or is this going to be something else entirely? That I do not know. So let's get the core open and just kind of go from there. Okay, so this is... Okay, yeah, I need to bend that back. Not much. There's videos on YouTube demonstrating... Oh, shoot. I didn't break that, by the way. Oh, WG630-1, 1/60, 125 volts. That's definitely not from 1960. CW 3 watts, CSA approved. Intermatic. For some reason, RL, or whatever that is, that's backwards. I don't know what's going on there. That's all the motor details that there are to see. Whoops. I may cut ahead a bit, because I don't know. I may have to go rewatch some of those videos just to see how they were prying those tabs. We just popped the cover off, and I'm... I barely even... Yeah, that gear just is already kind of falling apart here. Some teeth just snapped right off. Is this... Oh, yeah, she's just completely coming apart on me. Oh, yeah, that's the classic. Oh, let's not pull that gear off, shall we? This is where that lever is supposed to sit. Okay. This is the directional lever, by the way. This thing decides which way the motor is going to spin. Oh, jeez. Yeah, this whole thing is all, let's just take that off. Okay, so we can see that. This looks like it's cracked. Oh my goodness. Oh my, this is too good. I love it. Oh yeah. With that we got a piece of plastic in there, and we got our oil reservoir in there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is call up, no, I'm not even going to make that joke, actually. The best video of disassembling one of these, if you really want to go nice and slow and look at it in a really nice and kind of more professional than than the way I'm doing it, is from Rick's Tidbits, and it's one of the it is the video on repairing these Intermatic timers. Yes, he goes nice and slow. He analyzes every little part of the motor. You know, that's terrific. That is a great video. I highly recommend you go see that. I know I'm using that as reference material. In fact, I was just there, debating how much I wanted to bend those tabs. So Rick is the Intermatic man, and he's also the man who sells replacement gears for these. Like this, like I've been saying this whole time, this is such a common problem with these things. Yeah, so this is the typical Intermatic issue that everyone who ever has one of these things deals with. Now, what Rick does on Rick's Tidbits is he's got his own website. I'll link it down in the description. He sells replacement gears for these, which are about 80 American dollars, something like that. It might even be slightly higher than that. They don't utilize the oil reservoir, which is over here. Is this going to come off? Okay, is that stuck on? No, it's not. Yeah, they don't utilize the oil reservoir. It's just these two, they're reproduction parts of these, and they're made of, in his words, modern materials that don't, completely fall apart. That is great. He's figured out his own method on how to fix these. But my kind of problem here is this timer is by no means worth that much. So, in fact, you can buy, just as a comparison, you can buy a brand, and I just checked this on my own local Home Depot. We actually sell these brand new. This exact model let's see, is this made in Mexico? I can't read it because the tag is totally faded, but if these are American, we've got the Mexican versions of these on Home Depot, which is the exact same in every conceivable way, basically. So, you know, you might as well just buy one of these for 21 Canadian dollars in my case, and start parting one of these out and, you know, fixing this. Here's my dilemma here. Here's why I was doing lots of considering and thinking and you know, trying to mentally kind of orientate myself with this issue, because I kind of expected this would be the problem, because all the other Intermatics have this issue. Oh yeah, and of course now that that wheel is free, yeah, this just can spin freely now. Nice. I don't think these wheels here have any sort of lubrication on them. I'll look closely at that more later, but I can't see anything at the moment. There's how that's supposed to work. Anyway, that's completely well, this is completely toasted right here. That's virtually useless. And all this other stuff is just, you know, along for the ride. So, with our core, you know, experiencing the same issue that every single other one of these seems to have, the next logical step would be to crack one of these open, because I do have two of them, and you know, part this out for this. Grab the entire core probably out of this and just stick it in one of these, and call that good. The problem with these is, you know, you have to drill through those tabs there to get them out. Well, Greg, that's not really a problem. You know, just do it. And I could, and I probably, you know, I would, but after checking, you know, I got curious last night and just started looking at customer reviews for the Stanley timer, which is this one here. I don't even think they sell this model anymore. I think this is, or maybe they still do, I don't know. They might have improved it or something. But looking at the customer reviews for these, and the previously mentioned Home Depot Defiant timer, not this one, but the Defiant timer on HomeDepot.ca. I'm sure you Americans have your own equivalent to that. But after checking customer reviews, the customer reviews were, I mean, there weren't that many, probably because at the end of the day, these are fine. But the customer reviews that were there, they were pretty skeptical of the newer timers. People didn't like the noise these things made. They called it ticking, interestingly. I guess that's the only sound that, you know, oh, it's an electric clock, so it must tick, right? Anyway, those are people who aren't in the know about this stuff. Anyway, they were pretty skeptical of, well, sort of skeptical of the Stanley, but they really went after the slightly cheaper Defiant timer. There was talk of the dial not being put on there the right way. Someone got a defective one. Someone got one that didn't start at all. What the heck else happened? Oh, and there was a feature that appears, I don't know if this was a defect or not, but the Intermatics, they don't have any sort of, well, I mean, they have this, but they don't have any sort of switch on the side that lets you override the timer and then just turn the outlet on. The Defiants have this thing as well, but with the Stanley, the timer itself keeps running while you turn whatever the heck you're turning on. While this is on, the clock here keeps running. On the Defiant ones, apparently the clock stops while you've got this on. Why don't you just unplug the whole time? Like, if it was really that big of a deal, you know, you know what I mean? That's not that great of a, like, seriously? Come on, guys. This should stay running at all times when this is plugged in. This should not turn the timer mechanism off. That is a little stupid. but that's Defiant. The Stanley one, you know, this thing has served me faithfully. It does make some noise, though. It's not silent, unlike this. And it does actually stay running when you turn it on. So I don't have a Defiant here. I don't want to pay the $7 to just get one for the sake of this video. I have better things to spend money on. So, you know, just take my word for it on as far as the Defiant timers go. Again, you might not even have them in the US, or if you're in some weird area in Canada, aka Ontario, you may not have them either. But in this area, in the prairie provinces, we do have access to them, at least through Home Depot. The Intermatic, of course, is for sale at Home Depot as well. But you know what? This timer, despite this here happening, these are actually pretty good. And despite you being able to lose these as well, you can lose these, but it's on. I mean, as long as you put them back in the dial, you know, when you're done with it, you probably won't lose them. It kind of made me go, you know what? Who do I want to rely on in a time of crisis? if I really want, you know, like, what is probably going to fail me here first? Probably this one, as opposed to this one. So with that in mind, do I seriously want to go parting out a perfectly good working Intermatic time all and then get stuck with Stanley? You know what I mean? There's even another reason for this as well. You guys have seen in the previous part the outdoor version of this. The outdoor version of that. That one already has this main gear here completely stripped. So at that point, why would I take apart good working equipment, even though it's kind of ugly? Why would I take this apart? You know, this works fine. I have 2 of these, sure, but why would I take this apart when I already have broken crap sitting around? So that's the same age as this, and it doesn't have this problem. Well, Greg, you say, your older, your outdoor timer that you want to part out now, it could get this problem. Yeah, it probably could. But so could this one. So could literally any of these. This is, yeah, so anyway, it was a hard choice to make, but I'm not going to part this out because I don't feel like getting stuck with one of these timers or whatever completely in a time of crisis. Granted, you know, these timers here, this Stanley one, the one I'm holding, this one here got me into all these old electric timers to begin with. You know, I was already into clocks, but timers, electric ones, it's pretty interesting stuff. I mean, it's last generation electric clock stuff there. You know, it's the legacy of those. This is the last of that. So this, you know, it's good. It makes noise. If I need it to be completely silent, I'll rely on one of these, because these actually are, you know, despite the tabs that you can lose, but again, if you just store them properly, you won't lose them. Despite those tabs, it's silent and it runs fine. So, yeah, hopefully that ramble there made some degree of sense. New timer, kind of bad. This timer works. This timer, again, I know I already pointed at it, but still, it's done the job, and it, you know, but it makes noise. This is broken. We're gonna go part out the other broken timer, and I'm not even gonna take the whole thing apart. I'm just gonna steal the whole core out of it and just change that, because I don't even see a point in playing with the tabs to deal with this. Actually, while we're in here, does this thing have any oil on it? This thing seems kind of dry. It seems like a tiny little bit of oil on there. Just barely at all, though. Again, Rick was hypothesizing why these things die to begin with. And, I mean, some of the guesses were that, you know, these things have really old crap oil on it that eats away at the plastic and turns it to mush. Or, you know, something like that. I wonder if it could also have something to do with lack of oil entirely. You know, if we get our oil reservoir out of there, because that's what this is, and we pop it open, what is in here? Oh, can I not get this open? It's probably sealed. This thing, you know what? I might have to take apart that other core if I'm going to get it going here, because this thing may have been crying out for help silently. You know, I don't know how long this thing was used for, but it seems like, if I can just get that reservoir open. Oh, jeepers. I don't know, I'm scared to take it apart, but let's get into the other timer here. I don't know. This is a little sketchy. It seems too dry. You know, this is gonna just be parts. Everyone probably has these lying around. Yeah. We're gonna put all these other new timers away because all of them work. So again, I'm not gonna be parting out perfectly good equipment for equipment that doesn't work. Yeah, let's get that other timer apart and see where we see. Okay, so now we're looking at the beat up timer, or well, not beat up, but the other timer, the timer that isn't working. And yeah, let's just get this thing open because this isn't gonna do us any favors, I don't think. Let's see, how do you get this thing off? I'll take that dial off. That'll be a spare, but at least we'll get some more tabs out of this thing if we want to. You know, if we feel the burning urge to set it more. How do you get this thing out of the case? Probably have to undo all these, I'm assuming. Those are those weird star-shaped screws. Yeah. In case you have one of these and you need to get it open for some reason. Okay. Yeah, the case is cool. Maybe we can put something else in it. I don't like doing this, but, you know, priorities. And hopefully the core in this doesn't completely fail either. We'll, I'm not sure what the deal is going to be with how the rotor is gonna work here, or not the rotor, but that center gear that everyone has problems with. You know what I'm talking about, the one we're just looking at. I don't know exactly how this is gonna play out. If it's gonna be dry, wet, if it's gonna need oil. There she is. There's the core. I wonder if this one has survived all these years because, oh yeah, there she is. Oh wow, that comes out really nice actually. Hold on, let's just do that again. It slides out. Oh, does it not go this way? Oh, okay. Oh no, it can. Okay. Alright, well that's cool at least. I mean, at least we get that. If nothing else. I may take the door off and possibly, you know, who the heck knows what that's some random little pieces of brass fall out of somewhere. I don't know where these came from, but I think the door was, oops, if I grab the right thing, the door was pivoting on these. We got two of them. Yeah, we'll see where, I don't know where those go now, but in other news, here's the chassis of the whole thing. And if I plug this in, because actually, yeah, we can do that, because if it's not, there's nothing, yeah, we'll plug it in. I'll have it turned sideways so we can actually see this thing in operation. Just remember, guys, when you're doing stuff like this, do not touch anything, you know, and don't have it here. You know, we can position this so it doesn't fall over. There we go. Okay, let's yeah, I'm gonna put the light on and we can see this thing run. Okay, and we can see the gears from the side there. I'll get the camera in once I'm actually ready. Put the case around here too. Sneak that in somewhere. All right, it's plugged in now, so don't touch anything, because yeah, that's a fantastic way to get electrocuted. And we'll come around and see the gear train in action. So this makes me wonder if this is made out of some type of plastic that is significantly better than the than whatever the heck, I don't know. I could be dead wrong. That's just a theory, but you know, making this out of a different type of plastic as opposed to the other core, because those gears are black. I mean, this is the same, supposedly this is the same exact chassis. So who knows, because this is an outdoor version of this timer, it may possibly be just better overall. They may have made it tougher. So yeah, we'll take that core off and then we'll see what the deal is. But that's good to know. We did a test run at least beforehand, and yes, it is still working. Okay, so now we're unplugged again. Just, you know, be safe, guys, when you're doing this type of stuff. And we'll take that dial off. Well, how's the wiring gonna work for this thing? Let's see here. I see two. Looks like we got some weird tabs and stuff happening here. I wonder, is this gonna work the same way? Let's get the other core and just make sure things actually fit, because this is the type of scenario where we may run into a situation where things don't fit properly, and it looks, no, oh no. Okay, no, these have the same, here, I'm just putting them side by side here. This has the same sort of system as far as the black, as far as these types of tabs go. Oh, and you know what? While we're in here, we'll do a look at our wiring diagram. So here's our line in. There's our hot wire, our neutral, and I see in a rare case, this actually has a ground on it. This has got to be one of the first timers with that. It makes me even more sad to take it apart now. I don't want to do it, but unfortunately, yeah, that looks like she's gonna be. Yeah, that is sad. I don't want to do this, but I have to. Yeah, our neutral, our hot wire. Okay, so this is all. I don't know what we've got a red wire for. I've got truly no idea. I can only assume this is part of. As you get a nice cord to the face. Can only assume this is part of this mechanism here, which turns this thing on and off. As you can see, I know lots about circuits, guys. You can, you know, world's best electrical engineer right here. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what is going on. There's another black wire. Where is this one going? This one runs across. Oh, and it goes to the outlet. Okay, we're just gonna unplug this. I think this is how you do it. You just pull it straight out, right? That's how that is. That's how we did it last time. Or not. Why are we not coming out? We should come out. I don't know why we're not. Boy, oh boy. All the wiring, of course, is super stiff. Not stiff as in falling apart, but stiff as in just hasn't been moved in forever. I'm not sure what's going on there. Okay. There she is. That's, okay. There it is. If I take a pair of needle nose, yep, there we go. That's how you do it. Okay, we'll get that other core out of the way. And we can get in there with our screwdrivers and get that motor out. Nice, nice, nice. This goes together really easily. I'm kind of surprised that it's not more of a rat's nest in here. Like, the motor just pops in and out. I guess, I don't know, Intermatic, maybe they had some idea that this was a high access area of high importance. It's probably really, in actuality, just only for the sake of manufacturing. Yeah, look at that. No resistance there. That's all we need from here. This gear, of course, is broken. Let's take that out of there. And really, if I really wanted to, I could just, you know, sacrifice the timer we're working on and fix this one, but I'm not going to do that this time. Yeah, there goes our motor. I'll put those screws back because we can use those again. I think that was one here and one there, right? Am I just totally out of it? Yeah, there we go. There's one. And there's the other. Oops, or not. I think it was over here. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, guys. Okay, there's that. Do not plug this in because you're going to get your positive and negative going nowhere. Oh, and I see. Okay, you've got this red wire is coming off the hot wire. Okay, or my neutral, sorry. My neutral and my hot. Okay. I'm going to put a tag on that says do not plug in at all costs. And now we find ourselves back at the exact same situation we started with, which is having motor parts and things lying around all over the place. So let's sort that out. I've just taken a second to compare our cores here, and we've got a slight information difference, which is interesting. We've got the, this is the core we started with was the WG631, WG632. The gears are black. I'm wondering if this is a special version of the core. A weather-resistant one. Oh, and you know what? This has different tabs in it, too. This, oh boy. I don't know if I can use this. I'm just realizing that now. Our other, oh wait, no, wait, yeah, I'm having a minor stroke here, guys. Okay, this has a different, interesting. That has tabs on it, and that doesn't. I may take the wheels out of this, then, if that's the case. We'll see what we end up doing here exactly, but anyway, let's get this. Let's get this thing open, shall we? No more suspense. No more secrets. It's time the truth prevailed. In one way or another. Oh. I don't feel like messing around with the soldering on this. I just kind of want to switch some gears and get out of here. Oh, there she is. Ah, look at that. Hi. This is how it's supposed to work. Interesting. Oh, and we can even see how this mechanism works. Where, okay, there's that little lever there. And this has that on... Oh, they have it on both sides. Okay, so I guess both styles of timer can... Both styles of timer can work. Yes, there are versions that have the lever, this little lever, which you can see jockeying back and forth. There are versions of it which have that up here. Okay. So this version, this core here is running really, really well. With no issues. So we'll take that out. Pull that out as well. We should be able to do it. Oh, maybe has this been oiled recently? This oil seems to be wet still. That oil reservoir seems to have oil in it. Well, I think I know what I'm going to do at this stage in the game. The easiest answer to the problem. Boy, oh boy, this thing is nice and runny still. Can we stick that on there? Oh, yes. And if we put this on here, and if we put that in there... Oh, yes. We've done it. Spectacular. Okay. Well, there's that. Is that other wheel? Let's just actually get that other wheel. Is that cracked? I mean, it almost looked like it was, but I don't know now. This, oh, here's the other. Yeah, this is completely useless. Here, let's get this. Get the other wheel. Is it cracked? I mean, they all look like they have lines in them. I think, I don't know. This is just, I couldn't tell you. I'm not gonna play around with that. It doesn't look, it doesn't feel like it is. Okay. So we've just investigated 2 Intermatics. You know, great, spectacular. Why the heck is this one in better health than the other one? This one still feels like it has oil on it. And look at how nice that runs. These are both roughly the same age. I don't know. Isn't that bizarre? Actually, you know what? I might put the bad wheels back in this one just so everything is you know, able to be stored away in a way that makes sense. Here, where are those wheels? There's that reservoir and all that too. Yeah, this other one feels completely stone dry. That's not what you want for one of these, especially in an area that has lots of movement in it. You know, I mean, this is the heart of the whole thing right here. Is this core? So why in the world is there? You know, why does it feel like there's nothing in there? And I guess my question would be for right now is, should I add more? Actually, why does this only work in one way? Okay, so this spins both ways. We've established that. if I put it this way. Oh, because it pulls this for. Okay, sorry. I didn't take any time to understand how that reversing mechanism worked. You pull it the other way, and it runs straight into this thing here. Okay, that makes sense. And then, of course, once, you know, that happens, it'll start going the actual right direction. And if I just pick at this a bit with my screwdriver, just being very careful with it, it's not falling apart, and it's not, yeah, it's not even, it feels nice and stable, that wheel there. Okay. What's sort of, here, if I put this back together now, I'll put this one on. I'll just slap that, I'll just slap this on back on here. This is that wheel there. Yeah, I think I'll throw this on here too, just for the heck of it. Yeah, we'll just throw that together there, just in case I need this for some reason again, because these are good parts otherwise. It's just the plot has been lost here with that without that main wheel. Yeah, we'll snap that cover back on. Come on. That is quite unfortunate what I've had to do here, but oh man, now it is making me tempted to like go to Rick's or better yet, go to homedepot.ca and buy a new Intermatic core. That's funny. Oh, this is a thing of beauty though, when it's actually working properly. Okay, well, I better stop playing with just, you know, just this. I think you guys are getting bored. This is going to go back in this timer here whenever I feel like rebuilding that. And this core is going to get used in the other timer. So this actually is fully functional now. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what you want to see right there. And see, they would have worked too for the longest time, but now they don't. With this, I wonder, should I oil it or should I just leave it alone? Because if I oil this, am I gonna... I might just get, you know what? For plastic, you do not want, for oiling plastics, you absolutely do not want any sort of petroleum-based oil in it. And what I've been using for the last forever now, a lot of the time, is Mobile OW-40. And you can't see that. Oh, now you can. You can see the bottle here. It's still good, by the way. I just had a look at it. It's still good in here. See, this is for metal. It's also engine oil, but you can use it for machines. Like just, you know, I've used it for clocks hundreds of times and it works fantastic. Even the NAWCC did a study using this Mobile OW-40, and it does work. But that's for brass and steel. This is plastic. I need to go get my bottle of 3-in-1 Some oil. Of you may laugh at this, but I have an old bottle of 3-in-1 oil in the original tin, and this was in the house when we moved in. This was already here. It was already being used by the previous owner. And yes, I have continued to use it. Even though it is older oil, it still is going to work just fine. But does this have petroleum in it? Contains petroleum distillates. So I would say yes to that. Okay. The newer formula of 3-in-1 oil does not come in a steel bottle or a steel or a tin like this. It comes in a plastic bottle, and they've changed the formula around, so it doesn't have the petroleum distillates in it. I don't think. Don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure. Pretty sure it doesn't though. So I may go and pick up a new 3-in-1 oil and use it on here. Or, well, yeah, I think so. And I was just about to say maybe I could use some, like, silicone grease or something, or silicone grease, but this uses oil, actual oil in it. I'd rather keep it, you know, stock standard as far as oil goes. Especially since it was designed to work a certain way. I think we'll just keep it how it's supposed to be. Now which way did I have this thing? I think, yeah, it was this way. Yeah, I think that's going to be the answer to my issue there. Maybe the new 3-in-1 oil if it has no petroleum in it. And probably, yeah, I'm not sure what else. I need to do my research here because I don't want this whole thing to just happen again. You know, the last thing you want is, you know, this type of stuff falling apart on you. So we're gonna actually go and screw around with that. I think that's the next plan of attack here. It is a shame that we had to disassemble that and do what we did, but we did learn quite a bit though, didn't we? I mean, these parts are, you know, interchangeable. I guess the next logical question to ask as far as part interchangeability goes is, can you do this with the new Intermatic time alls? Can you just grab this out of there and just swap gears around? Is it really that simple? Okay, so yes, are these still being made by the original manufacturer? That is the next question to ask. I am tempted to pop one of mine open now, but I know if I do, I probably will never get it back together because they're not screwed together. They are held together with those weird plastic tab things that you basically have to drill out, as far as I'm aware. So we will leave this here, guys. I feel like I've rambled long enough about Intermatics and this. I can't stop playing with this now. I feel like I've rambled long enough about Intermatic and these cores. They are very, I don't know. There's something about them. I really enjoy them. When they work though, that is the key. We'll be back in the next part to put our timer back together, and we'll also oil this again in whatever. I mean, you know what I may do? I may clean this, actually. Or do I even want to? It's not good to mix old oils together. So, what would be good for the longevity of this timer? Probably if I cleaned it. Although that oil reservoir, I don't think that's going to let go of any sort of... That probably won't let go of anything, because that still seems like it has oil in it. At least to some extent, it does. Because it does not really seem to want to come off. Now I'm not sure. I honestly don't know, guys. We'll figure all these questions out in the next episode here. It's hard to make a decision here. It honestly is. Yeah, I can't stop playing with it. It is very hard to make a decision here, but a decision will be reached, and I'll get back to you on it. So, hope you guys learned something about these, and hopefully you've come to appreciate these types of timers, just all that, you know, just a little bit more, whether you use them to power up your Christmas lights or your lamps or whatever. I hope you got something out of this. I know I definitely did, and I don't know. I'm having fun. I don't know about you guys, but I most definitely am messing with this stuff. So, anyways, thanks for watching, and thanks to anybody who actually makes videos on these timers. You know, those are going to be the only resources to really refer off of. Well, in a situation like this, where the heck are you going to go? What are you going to do? Ask Intermatic for help? You probably could. They probably actually help you, but you know what I mean? A lot of the time, all this old stuff that I do things with, the company itself isn't still around. I think this is one of the only examples of anything on this channel that I've actually worked on that you can still go out and buy brand new. I'm thinking that it is. It almost has to be. So maybe Intermatic would help you in this case, but you know, they're probably just gonna give you a whole new timer, honestly. They're probably not even gonna bother just sending you the core or anything like that. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll try not to ramble about Intermatic. And I will see you in the next part when we've reached our decision of what we're going to do next here. All right, guys, I'm back with the Intermatic timer here, and we're going to continue on with this. I'm thinking for my lubrication problem, or whatever you want to call it, I'm thinking of rolling with oil anyway, And the reason why is because this motor was designed with a oil wick, or an oil reservoir, sorry. And if you go on Rick's Tidbits YouTube channel, you actually get, like I mentioned earlier, you can buy replacement gears for Intermatic timers. And if you actually go and do that, the parts you'll get from him, the reproduction parts, they actually design they designed this out of the gear train, if you want to call it that. They design it out, they don't use it at all, and it looks like they can just be discarded after that. But, you know, as someone who still has this in working condition, I think at this point, I'm just going to dab some synthetic oil on this and, you know, get some in here and just run it how it's supposed to be run. Instead of, like another idea that got thrown around was using that super lube stuff, that white grease. I'm forgetting most of the details about that at the moment, but it's a good plastic gear grease that a lot of people like, and it has like an infinite amount of uses, as you can imagine. It's on Amazon. I'll link it in the description. But yeah, I think we're just gonna dab some oil on this and just, you know, if this falls apart or whatever, then I guess I'll just have to if I were to fix this again, I'd probably just have to buy a new time awl straight from Intermatic themselves and just cut the, you know, get the core out and just change things around. Steal these gears out of it. Yeah. Since this is still in production, at least to my knowledge, as of 2024, these are still being made. I don't know if they're being made in the exact same way. I don't know if Intermatic has rectified their little gear issue that they've been having for the last few decades, but yeah, it's hard to say on that one. I haven't popped the new one open. I believe they're the same, though. As far as oiling goes, all we did was just dab some on here. We dabbed some on the top of the oil reservoir, and we dabbed some on this pivot right here before we put that gear on. And I may even dab 1 or 2 drops in these gears here. I'm not sure if these need to be oiled. They are made of plastic, so I don't know. I might do a dab right there as well, and then put this thing back together. Also, just dab just a teeny little bit of oil on this wheel here, just the inner, I guess the inner hub of it that rubs up against this piece of plastic. I know this stuff is all made of plastic, so I don't want to go too crazy with, you know, oil, considering that this stuff can have self-lubricating properties. Here's a neat assembly method with this thing. This outlet you actually keep on the outside and then run the wires through that hole, and this snaps in there. So, yeah, if we can look at the front of this, I've got the spring set up. Oh, you can't really see it because there's no phone light. If we have a look at this a second time here, you can see the way I've got the spring set up, it'll just accept a cord if or it'll accept the prongs of a cord I stick in there. So now what I can do is simply just push this through this hole. Just kind of shove her in there. Let's see if it'll actually go in. If I can do it on camera with one hand. Nope, I can't. Well, at the end of the day, I put everything back together, plugged it in, nothing happened. I'm thinking that as we were playing around with all these motors, do you remember how one of the cores had these kind of terminal looking, I don't know, I'm not going to call it a terminal strip, but they had those metal leads on the ends poking out of the core. And on one timer, when you disconnected the wires, those leads didn't, or those metal strips didn't go anywhere. And on the other core, they pulled right out. And I'm thinking that that wasn't actually supposed to happen, that they're supposed to stay in place. So it looks like this thing has just kind of, somehow it has popped apart. It looks like those weren't in there very well by my judgment of things. So we could have just completely disconnected the copper wiring from the coil, which is bad. And I'm wondering now if if one of those cords should just be popped open just to see what's going on in there. Since the thing was missing its leads, I wasn't able to test if the coil itself was open circuit. So Yeah, we're in a bit of a pickle now, guys, aren't we? Oh, dear. Well, it's all fun and games, right? It's all fun and games until till the thing's open circuit. But you know what? I may dissect one of those new Intermatic timers and pull a core out of there, honestly. That's sort of what I'm thinking. Those are, even now, those are $20 timers. So it's not a decision made lightly. Those are really good when they're running. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do, but it looks like the timer we're trying to repair is open circuit. Oh, man. When will the wonders cease? I'll see what happens in the next part of this. We'll figure something out.